Okay, I'm TJ, and I'm going to try to answer the question, what is the source of your voice? Now, if you're a materialist, in other words, you believe that consciousness arises from the physicality of your body, which arises from um, planet Earth, evolution into a human that talks. But everyone knows that even dogs can talk. I mean, they use their bark, but their bark has got personality to it. Everyone knows that different dogs have got different personalities. So your voice is one of the characteristics of your personality. It still doesn't answer the question, though, because how is it that people, like in the movie The Sixth Sense, the little boy was able to hear the ghosts and see the ghosts? So how can ghosts have a voice? They're not even there. He sees them. Nobody else can see them because they're ghosts. But he has that second sight and clairaudience, and he can hear them just as clear as day. What about earbuds? That's the phenomenon of, you hear a song on the radio, and the worst thing is if it's a song you don't like, and then later you're driving in the car and there's no radio on, and that stupid song keeps playing in your head. Now, some people say, well, if you hear multiple voices in your head, it's schizophrenia. But is there a difference between, hearing voices in your head and hearing that song play in your head? Everyone gets that. So does everyone have schizophrenia? I think it gets to the heart of the problem that we classify normal things as disease. And this is why people are constantly saying, seek help, go see a psychiatrist, and then they're going to go put you on Seroquel or something. It's not a disease to be able to hear things in your head. Having that song playing in your head happens to everyone, so how can it be a disease? Well, sometimes it's annoying, but it is a normal thing. So, if you are like the little boy in The Sixth Sense, I think they did send the kid to the psychiatrist, and the psychiatrist was his ghost. It just gets to the point that even for the ghost, what is the source of his voice? He doesn't have a physical body. He's got what's known as a dream body, perhaps. So even in your dreams, people all experience dreams, and they experience other people in dreams. So are you going to say, well, you've got schizophrenia because you have dreams, and in your dreams that you hear other voices and you see other people? Why is why is it when you're walking around in a woke reality, your day-to-day awakened state, somebody hears other voices in their head, they're called mentally ill? But everyone goes and falls asleep and has a dream, and they see other people and they hear other voices, and that's perfectly normal. It doesn't make any sense. But you see, there's a lot of people who have got stupid ideas about what's normal, and they're very judgmental. And psychiatrists make more money than every other kind of doctor. So they keep this business going and constantly, promoting mental health week and, this and that. But who's at the root of the problem? The psychiatrists. The psychiatrists are, anyway, I've said it before, I don't like psychiatrists. I don't think they're helpful. I think they are, they should be out digging ditches instead of prescribing all the damn pills that they do. They're high-priced drug dealers. And if you don't like the drug dealer selling crack on your corner, you shouldn't like the drug dealer calling himself Dr. Psychiatrist, because they're no better. They're actually worse. Why are they worse? Because they're supposed to be helping you. If they were going to help you, they would book you for a 3-hour session. They would have an old-fashioned psychiatric couch where you could lie down and you could talk. and they could sit there and jot down notes, and then they could let you go, like Bob Newhart used to do on the Bob Newhart show. He was a good psychiatrist. He wasn't popping pills into people's heads. He was letting them talk in a group session, and they would talk to each other, and they would have a laugh, and it was fun. He wasn't prescribing Seroquel to these people, come and visit me for 20 minutes, here's your Seroquel, your Adderall, or whatever the hell. These kind of drug dealers they should be thrown in jail. They should be imprisoned. They're administering noxious substances, which is actually a criminal act. So they are criminals. Why did they get away with it? Brainwashing. They got us all brainwashed. But if you sit on the couch and you talk, a good psychiatrist should be trained in Jungian analysis. They should know Freud. They should know Adler. None of them use these techniques, so they don't understand how to interpret what's going on in your mind. They just say chemical imbalance, here's your Adderall, risperidone, you name it, all these trazodone. You don't need their shitty drugs, and you don't need these shitty psychiatrists. And I would take them out and I would put them in stocks in front of, you know what the stocks are? It's an old-fashioned punishment. It's 2 wood blocks with little holes cut out where you put your wrists and your neck, and then you get bolted into it, and people can come by and spit on you. Am I being harsh? No, I'm not. That's what you want to do to the crack dealer. Well, that's what you should be doing to these doctors that are prescribing all these stupid pills. Anyway, getting back to the source of what is the source of all these voices in your dream time, the music playing in your head. If you're a character actor like me, these characters come and they've got personalities. I mean, are you going to say that any kind of a comedian that does impressions of other people got schizophrenia? No. It is, anyway, I've talked about it as brainwashing, but I still don't know what is the source of these personality voices. Some people might say, well, you've got the physical body, right? And you've got what's known as the emotional body. So that's where you feel, if you're going to cry, you feel the sadness. If you feel elated or happy, that emotional body. Then there's the mental body, which doesn't do emotions, but it does thoughts. It thinks. Does it actually create the thoughts, or does it just receive them? David Wilcock says the mind only receives thoughts. The brain receives thoughts from what he calls the source fields. Rupert Sheldrake says that the physical body comes from morphogenic fields. Dr. Sung from Star Trek The Next Generation says that emotions come on a chip, and you put it inside Commander Data or his brother Lore, and they start experiencing emotions. If we're living in a simulated reality running on some advanced quantum computer in some alien child's basement, that was Neil deGrasse Tyson who came up with that one, then it's all computer code. And if you watch some of my previous lectures, I have said everything that goes on in our awareness is basically just data. It's all information. It's all code. And in the end, it's in binary ones and zeros, or it's in hexadecimal, or it's in different kinds of machine languages, it's advanced languages, artificial intelligences, but it's all information being processed by other information. What was here before we had all the information? What's the source of the source fields? Where did this all originate from? What was here before the Big Bang? One of my friends is getting very upset. That's when he starts breathing heavy. He says, "Get to the point. What's the point?" Well, I always fall back to my little side story is yesterday I was telling one of my friends over lunch about all the artifacts that are found in the Amazon or in Central America, and the Graham Hancock handprint of the gods, fingerprints of the gods, and all of these things that could not be created by, Bronze Age technology. Blocks of stone that fit together so perfectly you can't insert a razor blade between them, but they weren't built today. They were built ancient civilizations. And we were talking about many different things, and he said, well, how come all these different creation stories don't agree? And I don't have an answer for you. I said, well, human history is full of conquering races, and history is written by the conquering races. So all the stories of the conquered tend to get twisted and lost in the sands of time. But it still doesn't mean, one thing or another. The great psychic Ingo Swann wrote a book called Reality Boxes. And I'm just saying that all of these different stories, these mythologies, all of these histories are like reality boxes. You can get in there, learn everything there is to learn about this particular mythology, science, thinking, schools of thought. You learn all about it, but that's just one reality box. It's just a bin, just like, that's a bin right there, right? And in order to understand something else, some other mythology, well, you have to get yourself another bin, another reality box. And humans are very good at being able to jump from one reality box to another. It's like if you're a movie buff, you can watch a bunch of sci-fi today, westerns tomorrow, dramas, black and white, cine noir. So they're all different kinds of movies, and they're all different kinds of reality boxes. They're all just maps to our realities. Is the map the same as the reality? No, it's not. But it's a guide. It's a signpost for you. So I haven't answered the ultimate question of how did this all arise? Where did they come from? What came first, the silence or the noise? I'm TJ.